grow it, Lord. God, I'm coming to you as humbly as I know how, asking for the strength and to bind up the hand of the adversary and any nervousness. Lord, have your way in here on tonight. I was going to be coming from Genesis, but I think the Lord just moved me somewhere else. So I'm going to be coming from Exodus. Give me just a second. Exodus 3 and 2. And it reads, "There the angel of the Lord appeared to him in flames of fire from within a bush. Moses saw that though the bush was on fire, it did not burn up. So Moses thought, I will go over and see this strange sight, why the bush does not burn up. When the Lord saw that he had gone over to look, God called to him from within the bush, Moses, Moses. And Moses said, Here I am. Do not come any closer. God said, Take off your sandals, for the place where you are standing is holy ground. Then he said, I am the God of your father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. At this, Moses hid his face because he was afraid to look at God." And I want to stop right there for a second. If I could come up with a topic on tonight, I would say that I serve the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. Moses is coming to him saying, the tree is on fire. He's not understanding why it's not being consumed. So God is reaching out to him because right now God has a work for him to do. God has something that he wants from Moses, so he had to get Moses' attention. And Moses is standing in front of him, and in his mind, he's automatically thinking, I can't do this. I don't know what you want from me. I don't know why you called me. I don't even know why you're looking at me. If you knew my record, I wouldn't even be up for consideration. If you knew what I did in the past, if you knew that I killed somebody before, you wouldn't even be looking in my direction. And I hear God telling him, I am the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I felt like while Moses is coming with his excuses, God is coming with his resume. I didn't say I was the God of the upright only. He said, I am the God of Abraham. I can understand that because Abraham was righteousness. He believed God and it was accounted to him as righteousness. I can understand him being the God of Isaac because Isaac was the promise. But being the God of Jacob just didn't make sense. Because if you knew anything about Jacob, Jacob was a trickster. Jacob had to come to a point where he wrestled with God. Him and God went head to head with not wanting to submit and give in to his own calling. Jacob had been fighting since in the womb. It said in the womb, the two twins jostled with each other. And she said, why do they do this? He said, because you have two different nations inside of you. Jacob was fighting before he was even born. Jacob came out with his hand attached to Esau's heel. His name meant grabbing the heel of Esau. Jacob's very name means trickster and deceiver. And I found that funny. It's funny how we're born and we get labeled after our family generational curses. We get labeled after the things that our family has been dealing with. They look at us as if we were the first one to be doing it, and we weren't. Because before Jacob was a trickster, Isaac pretended that his wife was his sister. Before Isaac pretended that his wife was his sister, Abraham pretended that his wife was his sister. The whole family was deceiving. The wife, his own mother, went and did a trick and said, you go and pretend to be your brother and get the blessing that was supposed to go to Esau. And I never understood why his mother went and started tricking. Because when you go back, it said when they wrestled in the womb that he told them the older brother will be lesser than the younger. He had already gave the word that the older was going to serve the younger. He didn't need her to go behind him and manipulate and try and make it to where the older serves the younger. It was already said. It was already put forth. He didn't need our help. He didn't say, come in the kitchen and tell me what else you can put in it. I already sit sent my word. It's already going to come to pass. Nothing we do catches him off guard. He knew what was going to happen because he had already said the older will serve the younger. So I felt like at that very moment, he's telling Moses, while Moses is thinking, I'm unfit, I stutter, I killed somebody, I ran from my people, I cowered out and went over here for 40 years, and I wasn't in line where I was supposed to be. He's saying, did you not know about Jacob? I say, I am the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He didn't tell us when Jacob had to change his name to Israel. He didn't say I was the father of Israel. We already know he's the father of the righteous. We already know that he's the father of the upright. But he's telling me that I was the father before your name changed. I was with you before you came out. I led you to this point. All you had to do was submit and give in. I am the father of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I serve the father of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And I keep thinking about the Jacob that was in me. The trickster that was in me, the one who said, God help me, but I'm still coming up with my own plans. I'm still saying, I need you to save me from my brother because my brother's about to kill me. But while I'm telling him that, I'm setting up a plan that I'm going to separate the land into two different places just in case God don't come through. I got a backup plan because I'm used to taking care of me. I'm used to looking out for me. That's why he wrestled with God, because God needed him to know you were never looking out for you. I was always there. He had to touch his hip and knock it at a point. And I don't even look at it as if he really knocked his hip at a point. He touched his pride. He brought him to a point of humbling him. He touched his heart and brought him to a point of relying on him. See, we grew up in a generation where we were taught to be independent. How to get up and get it on our own so that we can get out and get it on our own. Then you come to a God that says, forget all of that. You got to depend on me for everything. For your next step, for your next breath. You got to depend on me for everything. And it goes against everything that I ever thought. I'm independent. I trust you, God, but I'm going to help you when you're not looking. I trust you, God, but I'm still going to make this plan that the land got to be divided in case you don't come through. I trust you, but I'm not sure of how you move. I know what I'm capable of. I'm not sure if you're going to really show up and show out. And I trust you, God, but it's not looking like what you said it was going to be. I trust you, God, but things aren't lining up how you told me they were going to line up. I trust you, God, but things are going to the left, God. And he's saying, do you not know my record? My record precedes me. I was doing this before you. He said, your testimony is to bring others out. Jacob went through it to bring us out, to tell us that not everybody came up in the church. Not everybody did it just right. Some of us went to the left. Some of us did it our way. Some of us had to wrestle with God all night long. Some of us had to get our hits in and think that we were really making a difference because we're used to taking care of us. I'm used to handling me. So I trust you, God, but I'm just going to look out in case you get it wrong. And God is telling me, my record precedes me. My record precedes me. I've been doing this long before you came, sweetheart. You ain't the first one to go to the left. I knew that there was a Jacob inside of you, and I knew that when we get done wrestling, that I'm going to change your name. Jacob said, I won't let you go until you bless me. He said, I will not let you go until you bless me. The angel said back to Jacob, what is your name? He said, Jacob. And he said, from this moment on, Jacob will no longer be thy name. You will be Israel. And all I could think about, he asked for a blessing and you changed his name. I feel like if I was Jacob at that moment, I would have felt shorthanded. I'm looking for something, God. You changing my name is not getting it. I was looking for more than that. But he's saying, when I changed your name, I changed your life. I changed the direction that you were going in. After this moment, you will never be the same, because nobody encounters God and walks out the same way. Nobody encounters God and leaves as if nothing ever happened. Mary encountered God, and next thing you know, she was pregnant with the living God. You don't encounter God and walk out the same way. Your life will never be the same once you run into God. He just keeps telling me, even though it may not look like much now, your latter will show you how great the name change was. He was immediately changed after that moment. He was getting ready to go and meet up with Esau. Esau, who wanted to kill him. Esau said, I'll meet with him with 400 men. If I was Jacob, I would be thinking, what he need 400 men for? I'm coming in peace. He came off confrontational. He's coming with 400 men. So I know how scared he was. And being the Jacob, not the Israel, being the Jacob, he cowered in the back. That's where he met God. He was in the back. He sent his family ahead. He sent ahead the possessions. He sent ahead everything before him. He's walking in the back, terrified. And when you're the most terrified, it seems like that's when God comes and finds you. He didn't say he went looking for God. God came and found him and attacked him. Because after this moment, I got a job for you, Moses. After you meet me at this bush, I got a job for you. Because my people are crying out. My people have been enslaved for 400 years. My people need to be free. I've heard their cry. I don't have time for your excuses. I don't have time for what you think is wrong with you. When I came to you, I didn't say, Moses, what stops you from going to spread my word? I said, Moses, get up and go do what I said do. He didn't ask Jacob, is it okay if I change your name to Israel? He said, after this moment, your life will never be the same. My record precedes me. I serve the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He said, I knew what Michelle was doing. I knew you had 4 kids out of wedlock. I knew that you were in the clubs. I knew that you hung out every night. I knew what you was doing. And I knew that on Friday night at 7 o'clock that I was going to come and attack you. And I knew that after that encounter, you'll never walk out the same. I knew that you'll start seeing you differently. You'll start seeing you as the head and not the tail. You'll start seeing you as what I called you to be and not as what you thought you were. He said, my record precedes me. That's why he added Jacob on, so that we didn't get almighty to thinking that only church people got delivered. Only church people got saved. He said, I can use anybody. The longer I left you out there, the more Jacobs you can pull in. The more Jacobs you can relate to. Jacob wouldn't have related to Israel right away. It was a process to get there. And I just know that my God is not done with me yet. My God said, I won't leave you where I found you. And he said, he told Jacob, I will be by your side until the promise is complete. And the thing that I get most excited about is it was a generational promise. Abraham, Isaac, then it turned to Jacob. That's a generational blessing. He promised that not only will I save you, but I'll save everybody in your household. I'll save your children's children. If you stay in line, I will save everything connected to you. It's a generational blessing. I'm going to break every generational curse attached to you. They can name you it, but I'll change it. They can call you it, but I'll move it. They can put it in front of you, but you'll jump over it. He said, I'm that good at what I do. When you get to feeling like you can't make it, when you get to feeling like it's not possible, you can't use me, I'm not good enough. He said, my promises, my record, my love, my everything precedes every thought that you had. And I get excited knowing that the God I serve said, my word will not hit the ground void. So every promise that he gave me, I'm going to get them all. Everything that the enemy took from me, I'm going to get it back. Everything that they tried, I'm going to overcome it. I am more than a conqueror. I am more than what came up against me. My Israel is better than my Jacob. My ladder is better than my beginning. He's not done with me. He's just getting started. It's only up from here. He said, don't get caught up in them distractions. Don't get caught up in your feelings. Them circumstances have came to knock you out of your position. But I refuse to let you get caught up in your circumstances. It's only a chapter, baby. It's only a chapter. Because when you get to Exodus 3 and 6, it's no longer just the God of Abraham and Isaac. Now it's the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and Michelle, and Jaleesa, and Bishop. He said, put your name in there, because now nobody can be disqualified. All excuses are nailed to the cross. And I get excited knowing that I serve the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And all of you that know the words of prayer, pray my strength in the Lord.